Yo, what's going on? Get this shared up real quick. Talk a little NFL, which means not for long until NBA. Well, let me share this out. Yeah, yeah. Man. Yep. Share this out real quick. All right. So, man, yesterday, man. What about yesterday? Shit. That was wild, right? So, man, a number of things, man. I wish I could show y'all. Oh, man. I do not know if y'all was watching this game, but I was watching that game at work, boy. Do you know when did you hear the announcer when he got ready to kick that field goal? That was crazy. I was watching it and he said, man, he said, you know what this means for some, and you know what this means for others, right? He said, and he said, well, this is gonna go well for some, and it's gonna go well for others. Something along their lines, right? When he's getting ready to kick that field goal last night, and then, man, I can pull up the audio. That shit crazy. He missed it. Well, it was five. They had a 5 point lead. The spread was 5.5. He said, so I'm gonna like this, so it's not. Then he said, you know what I mean, but not a lot of people caught on to that. He was talking about the spread. That was wild. That was crazy. Crazy. Mm. But mm, had to finish that off. All right, so man, early lines, man, it's important. You don't believe me? You know, trying to see. So, um, that's all I want to look at right now. I mean, give you guys some plays. I'm about to write down some plays, but getting ready to cash on these plays, man. And it is what it is, right? So, yesterday I was looking for Marvin Harrison for a while. We got him out, right? So let's see, Marvin Harrison, right? So we were looking for him yesterday. This was his first time being listed. Uh, so receiving yards now. So you see the importance right now, right? This is where I was looking for him. He opened up at 66.5. Okay. We know we pick on this team every single day, right? I mean, every single week we're gonna pick on this team. It opened up at 66.5. Now his line is sitting at 69.5. In certain places at 69.5. Right now, I think I've seen some 71, 72s already, right? So the line is continuously moving. Uh, so that's important, right? Um, Let me see. So it's at 71.5 over here on FanDuel. And like I said, right here, it opened up yesterday. So it went up a whole 5-6 yards, a whole 5 yards since yesterday, right? One day. So it's like I'm not the only person who's looking for a win, lose, or draw. This is a pretty decent prop, right? So definitely this is a prop we're just gonna have to add over there so I can have a list, and then it is what it is, right? So I just wanted to show some folks that I got another few props in this game, but I'll bounce back to it. Now, 1 second here. Yeah. Per said his ass so bad. He definitely did. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, so he definitely did. So like a mother, right? So revert back, gonna revert back, right? Gonna revert back. So that was an important play. That was an important play right there. That was an important play. As you can see, the line steady moving on that play. It hasn't even been open for 24 hours yet, and the line has moved 5 whole points. It's somebody that I'm probably looking forward to, live betting or taking them for or taking them for 100 yards possibly. What's up, Sid? Sid say, yo, I'm back. Talking some football right now, Sid. So, glad to have you. So at the end of the day, starting off with the first game that we see, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers. Now, the day before yesterday, we caught the earliest lines that we could catch on DraftKings, right? Which didn't have all the players. Now it's Friday. We're gonna have some of the players. We might not have all of them, but at the end of the day, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this opportunity to still look at those same matchups and who's benefited and see if we got those lines, right? So where was I high on from this game here? So what I was high on from this game here, what game is that? What game is that? That was Cincinnati Bengals and Carolina Panthers. First and foremost, I do like the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, well, this is. I mean, look, right? So you got Carolina Panthers. Of course, you got Cincinnati Bengals trying to avoid going 0-4. Okay, it's just simple as that. Then you got Andy Dalton and the crew trying to mess that up for him, right? I don't bet too many sides of spreads, but I got a few of them this week, right? So first of all, I'm gonna talk about in regards to this game here. I'm gonna have to like Cincinnati, and the only way I'm probably gonna play them is probably gonna be the 4.5. You know what I'm saying? So for me, yes, DK has it, bro. DK has everything. So I'll be going back and forth from DK and FanDuel, and I'll just use those two books in conjunction with Outlier right here and Game Day, right? So that was my purpose of going over Game Day. Show you guys how we can incorporate free tools with a few paid tools, and see what you got, right? So long story short, let's revert back here. Right. So if I'm betting aside here, it's going to be 4.5 Bengals or nothing in this spot for me personally. Right now, from an injury standpoint and things of that nature, we're looking at the from an injury standpoint, prop standpoint, all that good stuff. Taking a look at the depth chart here. Look. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins should be better than he was, healthier than he was, whatever the case may be. He said, I just grabbed Game Day and Outlier for sure. So that's what's up. Matchups. Deontay Johnson, he's going to garner a lot of attention. Depending on how these guys are going to try to guard him or something like that, I don't know. But he's a target monster. Couldn't talk you off him. If you want to look at him Prize Picks been acting up for me, right? Every time I get on here, and it just acts up, right? Just X up. Okay. See, talking about some bullshit. Just X up. It won't even let me. It won't even let me. It won't even let me. Okay, there you go. No projectors found. Let's see. Targets. See, it won't pull up nothing for me. Every time I stream, every time I stream, it don't. He said, "Can you show what the first quarter options are on DK?" It depends on what you mean. The first quarter options, as far as what the props, like first quarter passing yards, receiving yards, stuff like that. I think it's a little bit better on FanDuel as to where they let you parlay them, and they let you parlay them, and they let you you know do some good stuff with it. But first quarter props, quarters. Where are they at? Quarters. I think it's quarters. No, it won't be quarters. Let's see. Um, these are quarters, as in team props. Let me see. Player specials, game props, team props, weekly specials, kickoff, DK squares, stat leaders. Oh, where is the first quarter props at? Hmm. So you got first drive and first of game, receiving props. Receiving props, first race to longest reception head to head, most reception yards head to head, most reception yards there. Race to first reception over under, reception yards. They have it because I was looking at it last night. Let me see. Let me go into this game right here. Um, First drive, quarters, player specials, tight end team specials, DK squares, game props, player special halves, quarters. Yeah, I seen it last night. I don't maybe a little bit closer to game time. Team total first quarter touch da 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 da. Um, Interesting. First, they got a lot of team props, but like the receiving props and stuff like that, I fucking forgot, man. Maybe closer to game time they release them. That probably what it is. First drive. These are results and stuff like that. So first drive. First drive catch a pass. They got the drive, but this ain't quarter. But drive. I think uh, first drive. First drive TD score. First drive. First drive. Hmm. First drive. Everything here is first drive. So maybe when it's closer to game time, they probably get a lot of first quarters out. Maybe we'll see. Right. See first drive here. First of the game. First down. First. Right. So I'm not gonna waste too much time on that. Right. But uh, yeah, that's interesting. Definitely interesting. Hmm. All right. So where I was at was so each site got every game mixed up so much. So I'll just keep with the Bengals here. So um, now we know we'll be without Thielen, right? So um, here we'll be without Thielen, and uh, you know, defenses tend to key in on number one receivers and stuff like that, try to take out the number one option, especially through the air. I'll have some interest in Xavier Legette. Okay, so don't know if we got his prop out or something like that, but here's somebody that I probably have some interest in, right? So take a look over here at the receiving yards or whatever the case may be. His receiving yards sitting at 35.5, and his total receptions are should be sitting at 3.5, 2.5. So I definitely like this as a parlay piece right here at 2.5 right now. So if you want to get to it, that's something that you could probably look at. I'll throw it over here to the side, or I could, and then I'll also come over here and I'll put it in my player pool over here. A lot of these plays that I'm probably looking at right now are going to be the ones that the ugly ones, right? You know what I'm saying? The early lines on some of them, and the beneficiaries, right? Then I got to decipher to see if I want to mess with them. So Xavier Legette, right? So I'm gonna add him over there, and here's a list of his props right here to see, if I don't, just in case I'm forgetting something, how or where I might want to target him at, right? So his touchdowns right here. Right now, he's got for a touchdown plus 260 right there. They only got best. That's probably the best line. I'll see where the best line is at. I'll see what the line is at right here on FanDuel. Might be higher than 260. Xavier Legette, 290 here on FanDuel, right? So, long story short is, I'm going to put him over here in my player pool. This is my some people to look out. Targets, look out for. So they got his targets sitting at 4.5 right now. Keep in mind, last week, for part of the game, what's the boy's name? Shit, man. Well, he's fucking hurt, man. Straight up. He was playing, right? Thielen, he was playing. So he'll probably be a full-time number 2 right here, Legette, and we'll see, right? We'll see what's going to happen. I got him set. I'm going to set him to the side for receptions. I'm going to set him to the side for receptions here. I'm going to add it. Now, certain places got the 3.5 at plus 148. FanDuel still has the 2.5 at a parlay piece, right? So with the alternate, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do, okay? He's somebody that's on my radar, okay? Now, Jamar Chase all these guys, I didn't fully come to talk about these guys, but I like them, right? I like them. We already know we like them, right? So let's just cut the bullshit. Let's go to the next game or something, right? So the Jets and the Broncos, right? So we got an over under 39.5. I'm just not a fan of this Denver Broncos. I think the receivers over here have a tough. I mean, the Jets receivers, somebody like Wilson, I think he has a tough time. Keep in mind, Legette for a first quarter. Yes, for sure, I like that. I definitely do. Right? And this is, the prime example last night. I went over this the other day when we tried to catch them early lines, and everybody knew we was gonna like the number 2 receiver last night for that was a no-brainer, right? Defense is key in, and one thing about this football, man, and whatever, man, take your matchups, man. Take your matchups and just live with the results, man. Live with the results. Each leg you add to something is another opportunity to take an L. So always remember that. Profit and not deposit. That's the mission for the game. But overall, I mean, look, I'm not even finna fuck with this game like that, man. Truthfully, if I was, I'll fuck with some people on the Jets. Now, Mike Williams, right? On the other side, I mean, he's somebody that I'll be looking at from a matchup standpoint. I'm definitely. I mean, I just don't see. I don't see. Garrett, I mean, he can. I just don't see him going out there having a hellified game. Do I feel like I need to bet on Garrett Wilson? Probably not. I don't feel like I actually need to bet on him. But Mike Williams, this is a perfect example of buy low, right? Buy low, right? This is week 4, right? So let's see what's going on, right? Coming back from injury, you know what I'm saying? This is a perfect example. I would rather take my shots at 50 yards or something with Mike Williams than just struggle with somebody like Wilson. And I'm not meaning struggle. I'm just using a figure of speech or whatever you want to call it. But you know what I'm saying? The value to me personally, the value is on Williams. They need to get him acclimated. They didn't pay him for nothing, right? So where's the damn game at? Jets. So, Wilson. No, not Wilson. Well, he had 9 targets last game, 6 and 11, but that's neither here nor there. What I do need to find out is, who's going to have the best matchup through the air. I like to bet on a lot of passing props, receiving yards, things of that nature. But I'm from a matchup standpoint, I'm looking at. Most of the time, I'm always going to have interest in the number 2 receiver and the tight end, right? So Conklin is a vet, and it helps when you got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers who's not going to key in on. He's going to key in on the best possible matchup. His job here is to get this offense humming, right? This is an offense that's known for not putting up points. Aaron Rodgers is the perfect quarterback to come in here and get guys involved, right? 6 targets for Conklin last week, 93 yards. He knows how to exploit a matchup, right? He knows how to read. He's a seasoned vet. Our job is to figure out where to, the weaknesses in the opposing defense and where to attack it at. I haven't really got there yet, but I know I'm going to have interest in Conklin for some shape, form, or fashion. As long as he continues to gain that trust with Rodgers, okay, that he's always going to be an asset. And then we know who Wilson is. Now we're talking about Mike Williams, right? So, Mike Williams, 4 targets, 3 receptions last week, right? So, it's moving up. Now, let me see something. I need to get something up here with some snap shares or something. I can go with FTN. I can go with Fantasy Pros. Let's see. Let's try Fantasy Pros today, right? Fantasy Pros today, right? And let's use them real quick, right? NFL. Let's go snap counts, leaders, target leaders, whatever. See how we're gonna do this, right? Let's go with would this be a good site to use? Wide receiver. Snap count, percentages. We can go with percentages here. Can I search a player? Or should I just move away from this for right now? Yeah, let's move away from this and let's just go straight to FTN. Because it's been a minute since I usually use Fantasy Pros for in NBA and for certain things, and use this and use that and use this and use that, right? So okay, so let's go to the Jets, right? So Mike, he's been hurt, man. He's been hurt. He's been hurt, right? And like I said, this is, sometimes it might not play into fruition, but this is where you want to capitalize at. You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver, this is snap percentage. Snap counts. Okay, whatever, right? So, okay, week one, Gary Wilson, 96% of the snaps. Week two, 96. Week three, 64. Mike Williams coming off injury. Week one, 18%. Week two, 65%. Week three, 45%. Week four, I expect them to be 65 or higher, or depending on how the game goes. Then you also got to worry about game flow as well. So I don't. Now I'm starting to wonder. Like, could this be? Could it be a trap spot? I don't know. I mean, but 69 yards is not out of the realm of 29 yards is not out of the realm of possibilities there. I've already taken it on prospects, either way it goes. But, I wish this was a different matchup. I bet your bottom dollar if this was a faster paced game, a higher pace, his yards would be at 35, right? But I like that. Then some things you need to watch out for. So I like the 29.5. Let me I put it over there already. Now, you got Breece Hall and you got Braylon Allen, right? So, what they want to do with this offense is interesting, right? So, Braylon Allen, week one, 18% of the snaps. Breece Hall, 82. Now, week two, 35% for Braylon Allen and 72 for Hall, and 32 for Allen week three, and 71 for Hall. The thing about this here is this organization, the Jets organization as a whole, they don't really care. They're not caring right now about stats and stuff like that, right? You can make the case for Braylon Allen being the goal line guy right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I have a subscription as to where they showing detail. I'm showing detail about who's getting the carries and where they're getting the carries at, like in the red zone and stuff like that. Like you got Montgomery, for instance. You know he's going to get the red zone carries, right? So Breece Hall, he's getting a lot of work. He's splitting a lot of, when you got two running backs, you can see it. When you got two running backs, his rushing yards, Braylon Allen is sitting at 35, almost 40, and your starting running back, Breece Hall is sitting at 67. You know something. It's something. You might not want to attack. It's other ways you might want to attack that. Just long story short, whether it's unders, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a situation where I don't. It's not the situation that I want to be a part of this week. At least from over standpoint with a 39.5, and it's as stagnant as this Denver offense is, game flow probably doesn't favor a lot of people. Most people in the world are over people. This New Orleans Saints and Atlanta Falcons game here, I haven't looked at any of the props here. We got injury news implications here. We got injury implications here between Alvin Kamara and stuff like that. Looking at Darnell Mooney, his receiving prop is sitting at 40.5 right now. He's a guy that can get this with one catch, possibly two, with the volume that he can, by him being a deep threat here, and as Cousins get acclimated, more and more, Darnell Mooney is, getting better and better, right? And they're gonna need that, you know what I'm saying? So where's that game at? Atlanta. So Darnell Mooney. Two of his last 3 weeks, he hit a 26 or better yard catch for the long, right? 8 targets last week, 8 receptions versus Kansas City. 7 targets, 3 receptions versus Philly. as you can see, 3 targets, 7 and 8. The target share is growing. 66 yards, 88 yards. So, his target share is growing in that offense. Pitts continues to be Pitts. Like, I don't understand. So you got London on the other side, but the value, I would say the value is on somebody like Darnell Mooney. If you're looking at something in the passing game, I haven't deciphered where, so let me see. Receptions here. Let me see the receptions here. Darnell Mooney, 3.5 receptions at a -108. I couldn't talk you off of it, right? Either is reception or yardage. Just another guy that you want to suck all the value off of him until there's no more value. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Not one of my favorite game environments, though. I'll tell you that. Not one of my favorite game environments. We do have a 42.5 total here. I couldn't talk you off, looking at Darnell Mooney in some shape, form, or fashion. Longest scoring player, something like that. Let's see what that number is. Total receptions, player longer reception, 18.5 for Mooney. He's hit this 2 of his last 3 games. He's got a 23 or 40 something and a 16 or something like that. So yeah, no, he's got a 15, a 41, and a 26. He's been known for that. When he was playing with my Chicago Bears, I would take him for 40 yards or something in the touchdown because it worked in conjunction. Only way he was scoring a touchdown with Fields was a deep ball. So it was like a 2-for-1 thing. You know what I'm saying? His yardage was very low until the year 2 when he was just the number 1 option with Chicago Bears, and he was just because one thing about Fields, he just knows how to lock in on number 1 receiver. So he was locked in on Mooney. Mooney was getting 8, 9, 10 targets a game, catches a game, and then the next year come around and we got DJ Moore, and then he just locked on to DJ Moore, and you never heard anything else about Mooney again. But couldn't talk you off his yardage. The longest reception is a play item. I advise you to bet those straight, right? So that's another guy that I was looking at. I'll add him to my player pool. Don't necessarily mean I'm going to bet on him, but here's the guys I'm putting over here that I don't want to forget about. So Mooney, I will add him to the list of guys that I don't want to forget about here. It'll probably be for what would it be for receptions? I don't know. I'll just add him over this. That's why I have his name. All right. So the next game here, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Right, a game where I don't have too much of nothing for here. Right. So injuries though. So you're gonna look at we're gonna look at injuries here and Warren, right? So Warren probably is not gonna play. Okay, so Warren isn't participating in Thursday's practice. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin's coach, whatever, right? The running back appears to be trending towards missing his first game of the season. So it's trending towards he's gonna miss, right? You can look at his usage here. Everything helps the next person or the person behind you or the person in front of you. He's not getting too many targets, right? This Pittsburgh is just it's like a boa constrictor. Offense, they wrap around you and they tighten you and they run the ball and they suffocate you, right? With the defense and running the ball. So looking at his carries and things like that, 3 attempts last week, 9 week 2 with 42 yards, receptions, whatever the case may be. Most of that will go to Najee Harris, right? Looking at Najee Harris, 18 attempts, 17 attempts. Week 1, 20 attempts, right? Targets, last week versus Chargers, he had 5 targets, 2 in his previous 2 games. Don't know how much of an uptick he'll have, but at the end of the day, if Warren's not in the fold, you'll look at Cordero Patterson. He'll probably be the next guy up, right? So that's injuries. It's the most significant injury for this team right now. But at the end of the day, not one. I don't. It's not a sexy game for me, right? So things you can look at here would be, man, as bad as that motherfucker. If you want to look at a parlay piece here, let's see. Where's the interceptions? Shit. You can look at an interception here. Let me see, passing props. Interceptions over under. If you want a parlay piece or something like that, Anthony Richardson at minus 155. The way he was throwing that motherfucker against the Bears, I know that motherfucker probably gonna throw an interception out there. Probably. So, that's a parlay piece that you can take a look at there. I'll put that over here. You might be able to buy low on his rushing yards because why hasn't he been rushing, right? I just don't understand. You might be able to buy low on his rushing yards. Steelers is probably the best defense in the league. Rushing yards, what is it, over under here? Let's see. Anthony Richardson at 35.5, 36.5. I can see it. It's just I don't know. Are you being timid or what? You need to break the leashes off, man, to play your. He needs to play his style of football all over again because that shit what he was doing, that shit didn't look right. Right? How many rushing yards did he have last week versus my Bears? David Njoku out. Rushing. 24, 37, 56. I got some love there. Going up against this defense, like, what are you gonna do, right? He's got an interception or better in each one of his last games here. So let me make sure I come over here and put that in my player pool over here so I don't forget, right? This will be parlay pieces. Okay, so what's his name? Richardson. Anthony Richardson. I'm looking at. I think there's a chance he goes over his rushing yards. I just think so, right? I might put a. It's going to be one. It's going to be the interception or the rushing yards for me. So I'm going to have to add both of them, right? So that's rushing yards. Rushing yards. I will add that. And interception, I will add that. None of these plays are set in stone. These are just some plays that I'm looking at right now. There's always going to be a ton of plays across the NFL, right? Not one of my favorite games, though. Not one of my favorite games. Let's keep it moving, right? Now, we got a revenge narrative here. And I just, sometimes, hey, the Vegas is Vegas. They know what they're doing, right? But, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Aaron Jones, rushing yards sitting at 58.5, right? Now, this is something I need to go into, right? Because I'm quite sure that this Green Bay defense is not all that, right? So versus the run. So attempts here. So we got the running backs here. Of course, Indy's giving up whatever. Where's Green Bay? Those are attempts. Let's just look at yards. Green Bay. Okay. I have to go and look and see who Green Bay played. They way down here, right? I guess. Whatever, right? I still don't think they're that good, but we will see, right? Um, let's look at this kid here. We might be able to look at rushing plus receiving for him. Uh, Aaron Jones. So last week he had 19 attempts, rushing attempts. San Francisco he had 9. Week 1 he had 14 for 94. He had 19 for 102 versus Houston and 32 yards versus San Francisco. Right? 190. What's good, Mackie? What's good? 190. 220. 70. He's a little bit over about 75 yards a game. About 75 yards a game, averaging as of right now. 1 touchdown. The targets, right? So the last 2 weeks, he's got 6 targets apiece. I think they would have to be using him. I think I'll tell you this. What I feel like about the Green Bay defense, I think their secondary is stronger than their run defense. That's what I think. Aaron Jones having the ability to run, and I think what are we going to get his rushing and receptions for? Long story short, let's look at that shit. How about that? I think that could be in play. His rushing and receiving yards could be in play. It's not out right here on FanDuel. Let's take a look on DraftKings. Rushing plus receiving yards. DraftKings, where you got your alternates and everything, rushing receiving yards over under. What? Oh, rushing yards, rush receiving yards over under right here. So we're looking at 83.5. My outlier are not the same. Do you have pro? No, I don't have pro. What's not the same about it? Yeah, see, I don't see upgrade to pro. I don't have pro. What's not the same about it, my guy? What's going on? Let me know what's going on. And maybe it might be something. Maybe it might be something you ain't doing right. But yeah, man, rushing plus receiving. Now, I'll say this: it's in play, right? He hit his rushing plus receiving, and just receiving, rushing yards in 2 of his last 3 games. Right here, as you see on DraftKings, he got rushing and receiving at 83.5, and he had 100 yards here versus Houston, 94 yards versus the Giants. Now, this Green Bay defense is tougher. So you say like the charts and stuff. You say the charts and stuff. You got to be talking about. To get to a player or something like that, right here, right? You see this little symbol right here? I would click on that and it says props. Boom. When I click on that, then I'll click on a player, or you could right here search a player. So let's search Jones, right? And then I can click on Jones right here. Okay, so the last 5 yards and stuff like that. 5 games, you saying? So the last 5 should be right here. Last 10, head-to-head, 24, 23. You're not seeing that? You're not seeing that? And then scroll down. You're not seeing this last 5, last 10, head-to-head, 24, 24, and 2023. You ain't seeing that? I don't know why. That comes on each subscription. Damn, you said no? I wish I could see. Send me a screenshot. If you're on your phone, I don't know about that, but If you can send a screenshot to my DM or something like that, send me a screenshot and let me see. Let me see. But yeah, Minnesota, bet. Later on. For sure. Minnesota. I mean, that's a play. That's a play, right? That I'm thinking about. That I'm looking at here. So I'm not even going. I'm not even going to keep on rambling, right? We know who Justin Jefferson is. Are you going there or not? Right? It's just self-explanatory. I don't have a play on this game. I can't stand the Green Bay Packers. I can't stand them. Right? I'm gonna keep the bias away. Bias away. Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, right? It's important. Stay up on your injury news, man. Stuff like that, right? Um, Even if you're on Twitter, like me, I have lists and things like that you can probably come that you can come that you can come that you can take a look at. Let me see. Communities, articles, tweets, more. My lists. Just be in tune with what what you're trying to do, man. NBA news right here, NBA DFS news, NFL beat writers, and when I bet on preseason, I got a preseason list, right? Take a look at this. You take a look at this list, NFL beat writers, and just get yourself up to speed, man. Just looking at what's going on around the league. You know what I'm saying? Tweets are updated by the minute, practices, things like that. All NFL, right? So if I just want to be all NFL that day, you know what I'm saying? You got beat writers, man. Good news on defensive tackle Jordan Elliott. Likely bad news on linebacker Robinson. Deebo Samuel has a chance to return early this week. CMC's situation is indeed what it has been all year long. He's trying to manage tendonitis and prepping to ramp up. It's just a lot. The Jets, just a lot, right? It's just a lot, And then you have to do the same thing for the NBA, right? So, being up and close with the NBA, especially you're gonna have to. This is a must. NBA is the number one spot where you have to be in tune with the news. So, I got all the beat writers right here. You don't even have to follow me. You can subscribe to my lists, these lists, and you'll be up to date with all the news, right? Because guess what? Preseason is about to be here. I'm not even about to do no baseball shit. I'm going to do a little bit more of football, and then I'm off to the races to NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of ways that we can, skin a cat here and get information. But long story short here, Bills rule out Terrell Bernard and Teron Johnson for Sunday night game in Baltimore. The Vegas Raiders, okay, that's good news there. Jaguars head coach told, Doug Peterson told reporters tight end Evan Ingram is doubtful to play. So he's doubtful. George Kittle sounds like he expects to return on Sunday against the Patriots. NFL is finding Saints rookie, whatever. Malik Neighbors seems to be okay. What else? Texans. So that's what made me come here, because we're on the Texas game. So neither Texas running back Joe Mixon nor Damian Pierce practiced today, putting Cam Akers in line to start again versus the Jaguars. So keep an eye on that. Texas wide receiver Tank Dell also did not practice for a second straight day, so he'll probably be doubtful. Keep an eye out on that. Saints official are listing Alvin Kamara as being limited today. After not practicing Wednesday due to hip rib injuries, Saints running back Kamara returned today to practice. How much he will practice will be on today's injury report released later. Lions tight end Sam Laporta did not practice due to his ankle injury. So Justin Herbert ankle. None of these guys had to practice. It's just a lot, right? Bijan limited. All this shit helps to just put yourself in the right mind. When you betting on this football shit. Never mind, I got those clicking the wrong stuff for sure. Lions signed veteran Allen Robinson. They just getting deeper and deeper, right? Yeah. So I'm not gonna keep reading all that shit, but those are ways that you can stay up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Let the internet work for you. Let everybody work for you, and you incorporate that shit into your research and what you got going on. So, like here, so I don't know what's up with Jacksonville, right? Houston Texans last week, I ain't gonna lie, I was all over him, man. Took a big L, but you gave me those, not a big L, but I took an L. Any L is big to me, but I was all over those guys. I just thought they were going to win the game. I got them in a good line, and the line was pretty good. I got them probably minus 128 or something, and I sprinkled on Houston, Texas, and they went out there and got their ass beat up, right? So right now they got a 44 and a half over under in the spot here. Probably won't have Tank Dell, so definitely you're going to be looking at you're gonna be looking at both of those guys, the big dogs, right? Look like he's gonna have to do some passing, right? Now, can Jacksonville Jaguars defense bounce back? You know what I'm saying? They just played a horrible game versus those. If you think versus the Buffalo Bills, if you think for one reason that that defense is gonna be terrible like that, then you're going right back to the well on guys like Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs, right? So, those guys, man, I think I seen Nico Collins at like 70-something yards. It's at 81 now. It opened up at about 70-something yards. So it's important to get those early lines. Diggs, this is interesting. 60 yards or Diggs receiving receptions, right? It's sitting at 5.5. Like, going back to last week, it's a pick your poison thing. I think you could bet on both of those guys. Either both of those guys can get there, or one of them can get there and just use break even or something like that. But I think you can sprinkle on both of those guys, man. Let's see. Jacksonville, no, not Jacksonville. Houston, wide receivers. Nico Collins, 10 targets, 4 receptions, 86 yards. He's Hulk smashing, man. And I'm pretty much after he came across the middle on my Bears like that, and then just like, man, he just like, damn. I was like, man, that motherfucker. He came to work that day like on some bullshit. Like I was like, damn, man, he aggressive as hell. Right? So I'm like, damn, man, that motherfucker is pretty good. Then you got Diggs. We already know who Diggs is. 10 receptions on 12 targets. You want to jump on this pause. You want to get in early, man. Straight up. You want to get in early. You want to get in early. You want to get in where you fit in, man. This reception sit at 5.5. Both, they on their second or third string running back. And, of course, Tank Dell is acting like he ain't going to play. Tight end. Schultz, he's going to have to get, a little bit more acclimated. But he did have 5 targets last week. So, but these guys here are going to be doing the dirty work. Y'all already know, man. Diggs, them boys going to be doing the dirty work. Damn, they got Robert Woods. He's still healthy? I didn't even know. See, Robert Woods could be dangerous as well. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'll be looking for these two guys here. I don't have to add these guys to my player pool because I won't forget about these guys, but it's time for me to probably sprinkle on them, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and add Diggs and Diggs. Guys that is gonna get, the volume and everything. You want to jump on that ASAP, man, straight up. And just knowing you jumping up, you playing the right plays is gonna, it ain't gonna when you lose, if you lose, it's not gonna be as long as you made the right play, right? Now, my prize picks is acting up. Let's see. But since my prize picks is acting up, I really want to look at targets, right? So looking at So Prize Picks is the only book that has targets, right? I really like target props. Right now, Nico Collins targets are sitting at 9.5. This is targets, like throwing it to you. I don't give a fuck if you don't have to catch it, right? So then Stephon Diggs probably sitting at 7.5, right? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at see what Stephon Diggs sitting at. His targets are probably sitting at 7.5, I would say. Yeah, so 7.5, right? Coming off a 12 target game, possibly no Tank Dell. So, it is what it is, right? So you feel me on that situation. Damn, I pulled them up and didn't even add them, Nico. And you can get those props on Prize Picks. I would just put in over 5.5 receptions. You can take over 5.5 receptions for both of them. You can take their receiving yards, both of them. Them the only two motherfuckers you're gonna be throwing to on a consistent basis like that. So, Jacksonville side of things, I don't know, right? Shout out to Brian Thomas though, man. 3.5 receptions. I couldn't talk you off of that, but I don't know, right? I don't know. Where were we? Philadelphia. So we won't have a lot of props here, but at the end of the day, why we won't have props is because we're still waiting on news for both the number 1 and the number 2 receivers for Philadelphia, right? So it's Friday, we still don't have any props. If those two guys miss, then across the middle, shit like that, you're gonna have other opportunities for guys like Goddard, who went absolutely crazy last week. He went crazy last week. So he had a monster game. He had 10 receptions, 11 targets, 170 yards. All he needed was a touchdown. He didn't get a touchdown. That was against New Orleans, though. So tight end, just keep an eye on that, just in case they are bad versus tight ends, New Orleans. But it is what it is. Now, the wide receiver spot. Now, if Brown and Smith is out, then you gotta look at guys like Wilson, Paris Campbell, Dodson. So we just gotta see. But also things like Jalen Hurts, his rushing yards will definitely be in play. He's got 25, 85, and 33. I'll be waiting to see let me see if we got some props on him somewhere, right? Let me look here. What's his name again? Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Okay, so what books are these? Okay, so you got we only have passing touchdowns, passing yards, and fumbles lost, right? Passing yards. What book is this? DraftKings Bet 365. Okay, passing yards set at 205.5. I don't even want. I'm looking for his rushing yards, and they know better. I don't see them. They know better than to throw that shit up there. So that's one prop I'm waiting on was the rushing yards, right? Do I have Marvin Harrison up here? Yes, I do. For the people who missed earlier, he was the first player I went and looked for. I've been looking for it all week. His prop is sitting at 71 right now. Yesterday, it opened up at 66.5. That's the importance of getting early lines. It opened up at 66.5. Within 24 hours, not even 24 hours, this prop went up 5 yards. I told you, we target Washington no matter what. For the people who weren't here in the beginning, we can also take a look at. I'm going to bet Harrison. I'm definitely going to come step on over to the other side, and I'm gonna bet the number 2 receiver over there, right? So we'll get to that game in a second, right? Which actually we'll get to that game next. But Tampa Bay, in certain rushing situations, they popping up, right? So taking a look at the quarterback position here, if I'm not mistaken, right? So Tampa Bay #2 in rushing yards allowed to the quarterback. Attempts, Tampa Bay #2. Yards per carry, this is numbers to the quarterback. Tampa Bay, man, right? Where else are they? Touchdowns. What about touchdowns? Tampa Bay gave up 3 rushing touchdowns to the quarterback. I need to go back and see who they played. So I before I start beating up on them, right? Actually, I can go see who it was right now. Tampa Bay. Who did they play last 3 weeks here? So they played Denver, Detroit, Washington. So Daniels probably got one. Ain't no telling. I don't know. So long story short, that's that. On the Tampa Bay, speaking of Tampa Bay, on the Tampa Bay side, um, Bucky Irvin, right? Keep an eye out on Bucky Irvin. He's OTW. He's on the way, right? He's on the way. That's all I can say right now. Is he's on the way. They haven't been getting it's too right. Just he's not that guy, right? They need to switch roles. Yeah, he could be the third down back. 6 targets last week, 5 receptions. Week 1 versus Detroit, only 1 target. Week 2, only 1 target. Week 1, six receptions on 6 targets. But shit, the rushing yards ain't been there, right? That's like 17 rushing yards here, 18 here, 31. Hasn't eclipsed 30 yards. No, right? So keep an eye out on Bucky Irvin. He's stepping up, right? He's probably going to end up, a few more weeks, he'll probably be the #1. Okay, so right here, Irvin, he didn't practice, but say he feels pretty great. What could we get a touchdown for him for, right? Definitely a vulture opportunity. Let's see. So we don't have any touchdowns out for this here. Let me see if they got Bucky Irving here. He's a touchdown candidate, right? Around the goal line, he's somebody that can come in and steal a touchdown. This just is what it is, right? So let's see, Bucky. And it looks like so DraftKings got him in plus 200. Prospects probably has him as a demon, right? So Prospects and DraftKings are the only 2 books that got him as a touchdown. He is a guy that can go down and score a touchdown because he's trending in that direction, right? He's trending in that direction. You can look at the numbers. I wouldn't want to give it to White on the goal line. I'd rather give it to him. So I'll just add him over there just so I don't forget about him, and I'll keep it moving from this game. Now, Los Angeles and Chicago Bears, and you know what? I mean, I probably sold this already, but give me the Bears, man. Straight up. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears -3, -105. Give me the Bears, right? Let's start there. Not because I'm a homer. I mean, I'm being a homer or anything. No. Give me the Bears, man. Straight up. I'll take this fucking L, right? Give me the Bears. I wish it was at 2.5, right? I don't know if it opened up at 2.5, but give me the Bears, man. And so, I mean, we had, I expect Keenan Allen to play, #1. I expect Keenan Allen to play. And I also, I mean, I just don't see this offense getting worse. The line is different. The passing game getting worse. The line is the line. The line is terrible, like the worst line in a book on the planet. But defense versus the pass. LA is not good in a lot of spots. Attempts, completions. You've got LA probably around right? Yards. So they got some yardage here, right? Top 5 yardage this season. Yards per attempt, they number 1. Yards per attempt. And touchdowns, they're top 3, right? Giving up 7 touchdowns via pass, right? Now looking on this side, looking at the wide receivers, I didn't look at the quarterback. Let's look at the quarterback and see. No, this is the run. I'm sorry. This is the quarterback. Let's look at the wide receivers here, right? So, LA receptions. Would have thought their receptions would have been higher. How about yardage? Yardage, they are top 5 in yardage. Yards per catch, top 2. Air yards, probably number 1. Air yards, number 2. Red zone targets, probably top 10 here. And touchdowns, number 2 to wide receivers. Okay? So, I think that bodes well. I think that bodes well in the passing game. Couple that with the fact that they're just ailing, right? Like, injuries has plagued this team. And some of those numbers just favor, kind of like favors like I took Keller Williams passing yards, bro. I did. So Caleb, looking at Caleb here. Dak Prescott didn't hit that. That was a weird game. He hit them passing completions for me because they take a whole damn quarter. Motherfuckers taking a whole damn quarter on offense and getting field goals and shit, man. So Caleb, passing yards. Right now, it's sitting at 225. It opened up at 217.5. I think I got it around this number somewhere because it opens early on Prize Picks, and that's where I got it at, right? So I mean, I can't, right? I can't. I mean, 217. I got to play that. Now, right now on the books here, it's probably 225. Let's see. No, let's go to passing props here. We probably can find value on 2 touchdowns for him. So Matthew Stafford's at 217.5. Caleb is at 220.5. That's not bad considering a guy who's just coming off of a 300 passing yard game. But you do have to, look at the game flow, how this game could be. The Bears can very well come out here and probably crush these guys. But you can get 300 yards at plus 640, 250 yards at plus 188, 225 on minus 106, 275 at 350. You never know. You never know right now. But I took his yards, thinking about laddering it, or you're gonna get plus money at 1.5 touchdowns for both quarterbacks. 182 for Stafford, 136 for Caleb Williams, right? And I'm gonna have to sprinkle on that because these touchdowns and what we just looked at shows you that there's a possibility. I mean, the wide receivers have 6 touchdowns. They averaging 2 touchdowns versus these guys over the course of the season. 3 games, 6 touchdowns. That's an average of 2 passing touchdowns a game. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't, they would be straight bets for me, but hey, plus money. I mean, what can I say? So Caleb Williams, add that over there because but I've already played that. So now receiving props here. They didn't have any Bears receivers out here right now because they don't know the status of Keenan Allen, right? So we just have to wait. But if Keenan Allen comes in, he gets ruled in, then Caleb Williams' yards might go up 5 or something like that. So it's important to, sometimes you got to make hard decisions to get, to try to get out to get to where you're trying to go. Kyron Williams, I'm just gonna fall back from these props here. I don't want to. Maybe I might figure something out tomorrow. But right now, this Bears defense looked pretty good. I still have nightmares of Stafford when he was with the Lions. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He can turn sugar. He can turn you up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just fall back straight up, man. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen here. I mean, all these guys' yardage are reasonable. DeMarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell and all these guys. Overall numbers for Kyron Williams, he's been a beast. But I'm gonna just fall back. Give me the Bears -3. Wish it was 2.5. Or maybe like I don't know. Maybe I'll take the Bears on the money line and do an alternate parlay or something like that. We'll see. I'm gonna like the Bears. I'm gonna like the Bears. All right. I know it's a lot of people out there like Caleb this, Caleb that. At the end of the day, you got to know that the offensive line is terrible. And then you got to know that he ain't even played 6 games yet. Motherfuckers coming out talking about. And look, I ain't gonna say I can care less, but truthfully, I can care less. I can care less who's under center. For me, it was everything around because we ain't never had no quarterback, and I can live with that. But it was everybody around proud of what they did, put the pieces in play. Now, this kid ain't even, come on, man. This kid probably going to get better and better every game. I don't understand. But it's all talk. It's all talk to keep the chatter. So, overreaction Monday type of shit. Next game, I think he's going to be okay. And that brings us to the Washington Commanders and Washington Commanders in Arizona. I really like this game. As you can see, we got an over-under 50 here. Yeah, we never had a quarterback, man. We've been eating good off our defense forever, man. I ain't thinking about none of these commentators, man. Straight up, that man, from a real fan, and know what's going on, and you know what I'm saying. We know that line is terrible, man. We fucked up a lot of quarterbacks' careers with that line, man. The line always been bad. Now, he made some crazy ass throws and shit like that. He got this face. Yeah. It's gonna mesh. It's gonna mesh. It's going to mesh. Cause I see flashes in Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? We would have won that last game if we would have had Keenan. I bet. Just having a somebody like that, and he coming out the slot a lot. You know what I'm saying? The offensive coordinator got a lot to do with some of that stuff too. But Keenan can take the pressure off him a lot because of his knowledge of route running. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys, if you've seen some of those clips, them long ass routes they was running, it wasn't even about him having a lot of time. Sometimes it was taking a long time for them motherfuckers to even, complete a route. He's sacked before any receiver even turns around. You got receivers that know how to read the blitz right off the line. Go to where the motherfucking blitz came from. Shit like that. So missing a guy like Keenan Allen is not, doesn't bode well for somebody like him. For somebody like Caleb, he needs Keenan Allen out there. Yep. But he's on the way. We'll figure it out. Now, I like this game here, man. I like this game. Big thing here is Trey, man. Trey McBride, that's his name. Trey McBride. We need to know what's going on with him, right? I think he's not playing, okay? And that's why you need to get up, you need to do what you need to do. Right now, concussion will not play. When was this? Today? 27th? Yeah, it says the 27th right there. Right. So bam, he's not playing, right? So you have to make your decisions right away. You need to start sprinkling on who you need to sprinkle on, Marvin Harrison and shit like that. Now, not only do I have to bet on Marvin Harrison, but I have to bet on this kid too. Because one of them gonna get there, if not both of them. And that'll be Wilson, right? Coming off a game last week, 8 receptions, 9 targets. He'll be the number 2 receiver, right? 64 yards. I got to bet on him. Hopefully both of him and Marvin gets there. But I got to bet on him, man. Straight up. 8 receptions, 9 targets. It is what it is. I've been looking for his lines all week. His lines finally came out. You'll get them here on FanDuel right now. His receiving props. You'll get 3.5 receptions for him and at 3.5 at minus 138. This number is going to keep climbing, right? Greg Dortch, he'll probably be targeted more as well. But I want to be in on this one here, right? His total yards is sitting at 44.5. I don't know how I feel about that, but if I think he's going to get 4 receptions, then I think the 44.5 yards is not a minimum possibilities, right? But I think I probably would lean towards the receptions. Keep in mind, we got a 50.5 total in this game. And we target the pass catchers versus this team, right? So let's take a look at the touchdown props here. You can get a touchdown for Michael Wilson at a plus 250. And as you know, they've given up 9 Washington, number 1 right here, 9 touchdowns to the wide receiver position here. So that's an average 3 a game. So, and we got, I think, 2 of the 3 receivers they played against, the top receivers he gave up 2 touchdowns to. That would be Mike Evans, and that would be Chase last week, who I was all over. We're going to target this team with wide receivers every game until they get their fucking act together, right? On the flip side, me personally, I think it's only so long before this secondary gets their ass wore down for Arizona. I ain't gonna lie, and that's gonna put guys like Scary Terry in play. As far as I can see right now, week by week, Terry McLaurin and Jaden McDaniels, their rapport is getting better and better and better. This kid, don't sleep on Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is really good. Okay, let's just keep it funky. I'm keeping it funky with you guys. This guy's really good. Next guy that I like here is going to be Zach Ertz. One of the best tight end minds in the league. He just can't stay healthy. But here's a guy that knows what to do around a quarterback. Okay, so he's going to be an asset, to him, to McDaniels. 4 targets are better in each and every last game. 3 receptions are better in each and every last game. He's 1 pop away from being injured, though, because he lives on the injury list. But, it is what it is. You're going to get his reception targets receptions at 3.5 at plus 122. You could tease it down to a parlay piece, if you want. At 3 receptions at minus 194. I like that as a parlay piece for sure. All the flexibilities the books give you, use that shit to your advantage, right? Even the 25 yards is in play for him. I want to say he's hit that in each and every last game, which I'm quite sure he did. Let's see. 28, 20, 62, and 38. I'm not opposed to not getting there. And then, another thing you can look at is both the quarterbacks. Truthfully, you can look at Kyler Murray rushing yards as to where Kyler Murray, he had 45 yards, 59, and 57 yards, 5 attempts each and every last game rushing, right? So he's been hitting the rushing hard there. And then Daniels, you can also look at him and, he has touchdown upside. Rushing yards from him, 39, 44, and 88. And like I said, he has touchdown upside, which he has 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 versus Tampa Bay, and 1 versus Cincinnati, right? So, those are ways that you can look at those guys there. And Marvin Harrison is self-explanatory, right? Marvin Harrison, his receiving yards are sitting at 72 now. It's going up by the second. It's going up by the second, bro. It was just 71 before I started this video, right? Before I started this video, it was just 71. And yesterday at 5 p.m., it opened up at 65. This could be one of those get money games, right? It could be one of those get money games, right? Ooh, shootout. Speaking of shootouts, you never know, man. Like I said, both teams score a touchdown in each half, minus 122, right? Then you got both teams to score 2 touchdowns in each half at plus 1360. This is a prop I've always been flirting with. One day it's going to hit. I might bet this one this week, but locked in 1 touchdown in each half of each team. I locked that in already. I'm really, really, really tempted to go 2 touchdowns in each half of each team at plus 1360. Fuck around and put it with a couple 2 touchdown players in another team and have a payday, But that's that game in a nutshell. This is a game environment that I want to have a piece of, right? So I'm really, really targeting this game. Few passing yards and stuff like that to give me the plus 100. Doing some bankroll builders here. I like it. You know what I'm saying? If I was to go back here, let's see. If I was to go back here, clear these props out right here. A couple of examples of bankroll builders and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make money, man. We're trying to make money, right? And in our bankroll builders, we just want to take these guys for what they do. Yeah, it could be a great payday. And I could be wrong, but I like the pace that game could be played, man. Just like basketball, man. I like to bet on pace-up matchups. You know what I'm saying? Where they running up and down the court, 2 bad teams. We like to play bully. I ain't never been no bully in my life, but I like to play bully on the books. You know what I'm saying? You going for it? I mean, it ain't nothing. I don't care if you put $1 on it, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, since I opened up another page, they act like they don't want to load up. I don't understand, man. It is, man. I ain't even finna. I'm gonna come back. I'll come back. Let me see. Let me get it back up there. I'll come back. Let me take these down. I'll come back. Let me see. That shit don't even want to load up. Fuck that shit. All right, you know what? I went past the game. So the New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers, Kittle should be back. I don't know about Debo. Yeah, that sounds really good. Like I say, Debo, I don't know about Debo. I mean, whatever, right? I just don't want. I don't want no parts of this game. Okay, so Cleveland Browns and Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is another game, right? This is another game that this is another one of those games, right? So we're gonna keep an eye out on the status of we're gonna keep an eye out on the status um of Devontae Adams here, but concentrated offense. We know what's going on here, and these are the type of offenses I like, especially in the passing game. Concentrated offense. Concentrated mean we know what's going on, right? Devontae Adams, nine targets, 12 targets, 6 targets. We know this, right? That's one thing. Brock Bowers, right? The tight end, Brock Bowers. Um, they got beat up last game, so his target share was down a little bit, but don't get it twisted. It'll be right back up, right? They just got beat down by Carolina. They couldn't do it, was getting beat down. So 8 targets, 9 targets, and then this right here was 4 targets, like, and he still had 41 yards. So I love both of those guys right there. I like it, right? On the flip side, we're looking at Amari Cooper. I was all over Amari Cooper last week. Pause. He got that for me. 7 receptions, 12 targets. That's what we like. 9 targets, 8 targets, 12 targets. Give us a chance. If we don't like the matchup, we falling back. So last week versus the Giants, I liked the matchup. Went to it. We prevailed. Right. Going right back to the well. Going right back to the well here. His yardage props and things of that nature. So what I'll do here, I would go. I'm going to go. Outlier. I'm going to go props. I'm going to go. No, I'm gonna take this down. Take this down. I'm gonna go games. Click on this game here. Browns and Raiders. Apply. Gardner Minshew, 207 yards. Like, I think he goes over that. I wouldn't take the under there. Jerry Jeudy, I forgot about Jerry Jeudy. I'm just going to add Devontae Adams right there. He got a 4.5 reception line. I'm going to add Amari Cooper. His target line is targets and yeah, for sure. His targets are sitting at 7.5. I think he can go over that. And then we got the tight end. Where is he at? Bang, 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 bang. He must not have no lines out. Why the fuck is this? He's way down here? Why? Where? I don't even see him, man. Straight up, got me strolling all day. I'm not gonna look for his ass. Alright, you know what? I'll look for players and I'll just type his name in. Bowers. I played him on FanDuel on DraftKings already. Receiving yards at 42.5, 6 targets. These are just targets now. Or 3.5 receptions, right? So either way you want to go, I'll put the 3.5 receptions up there. So I took 3 guys from that game. Now, you can also, like I said, you can also look at rushing props, right? As to where you can look at they don't have the quarterback here. Watson, right? Well, let's go to it. Watson. I think Deshaun Watson goes over his rushing yards. So, he had 39 versus Dallas, 20 versus Jacksonville, and 26 versus the Giants. His line is sitting at 22. It's a lean. It's only a lean. I'll put it over there. A lean towards the over there, right? For rushing yards for him. And like I said, the passing yards for Minshew. I like Minshew, right? I know Minshew is capable of going off. So his passing yards are in play at 209. So it is what it is, right? What's the total in this game here? We have a damn, it's only 37 and a half. Why? I might lean towards the over. I might lean towards the over in this game. I might lean towards the over. We'll see. All right, so Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers, like, I don't know what to expect, man. Truthfully, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know what to expect. But I'll tell you this, right? It's a matter of time before Kelsey have 2 touchdowns. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that. And if he get 1 touchdown, especially early, please live bet him. Live bet him for another one. He might have a 3 touchdown game. You never know, right? Just keep an eye out for that shit, man. Other than that, do what you want. I don't know what to do. Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Ravens, and Buffalo, right? So we got an over under 46 and a half, and I'm going to take the over. I don't bet a lot of spots, but give me the over here, man. Straight up. Give me the over here, right? Give me the over. Give me both teams to score a touchdown in each half at plus money. Give it to me. And this is a candidate for both teams to score 2 touchdowns in each half. Despite how ugly this game looks, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. I'm just putting that out there, bro. Straight up. I'm putting that out there. Anything can happen, man. Straight up, man. So give me both teams to score a touchdown in each half, okay? Now, when a game like this, you want to try to figure out game flow, right? How's this game gonna go? Buffalo's been involved in like 3 straight blowouts, right? We know Allen, he'll do what it takes to win. He'll do what it takes to win. Whether there's run, so he's in play for rushing yards, passing yards, and he's in play for rushing touchdown. We can't forget that, but we still want to know how this game plays out. So, we do know that Baltimore has been giving up yardage, right? Baltimore's been giving up yardage in the passing game. They right here. To receivers, let's just look at their defense. Defense versus the pass. Yardage here. Baltimore number 1 in yardage. Completions, stay up there. Attempts, stay up there. Touchdowns in the passing game. Baltimore. I don't see him. Right here. Okay? So, they read in attempts, passing attempts, completions, and yards, right? To the QB. Okay? Now, it's hard to gather some numbers for Buffalo because keep in mind, they've been blowing motherfuckers out. So that throws off stats. It makes, I mean, they've been blowing motherfuckers out. So it's like, I mean, it's taken away. It's, numbers can be misconstrued, right? So, we don't even know if they can we don't know like if they can stop the run and shit like that, because once you start getting your ass blown out, you got to start passing. So that you get game script out. And talk about a game script out, you could look at somebody like Derrick Henry, right? And then behind Derrick Henry, you have let me show you. So game script, you got to figure out if game script works in whoever's favor, right? So we go back here and let's go to Monday. Okay. No, that's not that. Sunday night prime time was Buffalo and Baltimore. So, for instance, that's hard. Trying to figure out how this game is going to go. So, week one, Derrick Henry got the touchdown, but kind of like phased out a little bit, where he only had 13 carries, and they had to do a little bit of passing, right? Same thing probably with that Dallas game, but no, just right here, and in those matchups, figuring out, you just got to know, right? Let's see, running back Justice Hill. So, um, here's the guy that's going to come in and get the passing down work, right? So, like I said, week one, Derrick Henry had 13 carries. It might look like he had some decent involvement, but they had to do some passing, and this is a prime example of how Derrick Henry can get phased out, right? 8 targets for Justice Hill and 6 receptions, so for 52 yards. So it's early in the season to try to figure out game flow. But if you can nail game flow and see how the game going or the game is going to go, then that lets you know when to take under on rushing yards for certain players, or over on rushing yards for certain players, or in this case, the backup running back. When you can predict that teams are going to be passing, then hey, you got passing down running backs that's going to be in there, and it's just steady dumping the ball off to them in passing situations. So it's a few different ways that you can look at it, but it's important to try to know and try to decipher that, right? So it is what it is with that situation, because, like I said, we don't know. Buffalo been beating the fuck out of people. We still don't know, who they are. Now, it's been numerous occasions this year where Baltimore has gotten like double teamed, man. Like they faced the Raiders, where Brock Bowers and uh, Devontae Adams went off. Then CeeDee Lamb and the tight end went off for Dallas, went off against them, right? So now you're gonna come up against a team like Buffalo, where Shakir might be that guy, right? Shakir might be that guy, and then for the receiver, and then you got Dalton Kincaid, who's probably that guy as far as the tight end. So if they steady getting gashed, because they're getting gashed, right? Baltimore getting gashed, man. So defense versus pass, wide receivers. This is wide receivers in general we were looking at, and yardage here. Let's see, Baltimore right there. Receptions. Baltimore's top 10. Quarterbacks was a little bit more harsh, but We can look at tight ends and see where they're at. Baltimore versus tight ends. They really, you know what I'm saying. So receptions here, touchdowns. Probably don't have any touchdowns, but air yards. Baltimore number 1 in air yards by 10 yards. Yards per catch. Baltimore they in the red. These they in the sea of red with these guys here. Yardage for tight ends, top 2. Receptions for tight ends, top 2. Targets for tight ends, top 2. So tight ends can probably have their, I ain't gonna say have their way, but it might be an okay spot for them, right? So can these numbers get better? Can they tighten up some shit? Yeah, look at Dallas. We was all over Dallas regarding their lack of ability to stop the run. And Devin Singletary could have been Singletary, but somehow he flirted with 25 yards all night long, right? I needed him to have 25. That motherfucker had 24. I couldn't believe it. 14 rushes. Couldn't believe it. But it is what it is, right? So at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson, I'm going to be looking at his rushing yards here for sure. I probably would look at his rushing yards before I look at Derrick Henry's. He's going to be the one with the ball most of the time. He's going to try to do what it takes. 87 yards versus Dallas, 45 versus Vegas, and 122 yards versus Kansas City week 1, right? Definitely know you could tell he was trying to win that game. So, I lean towards the over. I'll probably end up taking the over. If Buffalo can still put up points like that, I'm quite sure. I don't know, man. What was it? What was it again? 46 and a half. Can I get a 21 to 28 game here? Can I get something like that? 21 to 28. Maybe I won't take the over. Maybe I will, but I need to make a decision right now. I'm taking. I'm getting ready to take this though for sure. Both teams 1 touchdown in each half at plus 122. I think that's good value. Keep in mind that both teams are 1 score, 1 touchdown in each half. It's not an easy prop to hit, but I'm going for it. So only 2 things I can do is win or lose, right? Don't be surprised if you see a Mark Andrews sighting here. I want to see what type of value we're going to get on his reception yards. 29 and a half. I don't know what the fuck happened last game, but I think that's in play at 29 and a half here. Khalil Shakir, you can look at his receptions or you can look at his yards. Take a look at what his reception is, or what these players' receptions are. 3.5 for Shakir is in play at 3.5 at a parlay piece right now, along with Dalton Kincaid. I feel like these are the top 2 candidates here for receptions. And as far as touchdowns here, I mean both quarterbacks are in play and both running backs are in play. Derrick Henry, Josh Allen, Cook, and Lamar Jackson. I ain't gonna say in that order, but yeah, those guys are in play. Yep. The receivers I don't really bet on Baltimore receivers that much, so it is what it is, right? Where we at here? Tennessee and the Dolphins. I don't know. Man. Maybe it'll be something I'll touch on a little later, man. I don't know, bro. I don't. Straight up. I need to look into it a little bit more. Seahawks and the Lions. I like this game here. I like this game, right? So a parlay you can look at would be Derrick Henry and Montgomery for a touchdown. I can see those guys. I think you can parlay those guys up each and every week because teams that can move the ball. You can move the ball and give your running back a chance to punch it in. Hey, I'm with it, right? Montgomery's been a touchdown magnet since last year, even since with the Bears. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. Those guys, I think, those boys like your judges, your Atanis and shit when it comes to touchdowns, right? So I think, those guys are in play. As far as how I think this game is going to go, I don't know. What I do know is offenses kind of been concentrated, especially the surprisingly the well, I'll say I'll say Metcalf and St. Brown, right? So St. Brown. Now this game isn't until Monday, so you can get your bets in early. But 8 targets here. Week 3, 19 targets week 2. 19. 6 targets week 1. Right? 19 targets. That's wild. We know he's here to stay. DK Metcalf. 6 targets last week versus Miami in a 24-3 win. Like a lopsided win. It was a weird game. Week before that, 14 targets. Week before that, 4. Right? 100 yards in back-to-back games. He's a candidate for longest reception of the game. Might be like 23 yards or something like that. He's a candidate for that. But for the most part, these offenses are concentrated. Walker practiced in a limited capacity Thursday. Going back to last week, Walker has put together back-to-back cap sessions as he draws closer to complete his recovery from the oblique injury that suffered in week 1 against the Broncos. According to Bob Condotta, the Seattle Times, Walker was in pads and has his helmets and warm-ups Thursdays. The Seahawks have a pair of practices remaining during week 4 prep, in which Walker can demonstrate his health before the Seahawks may give him a designation ahead of Monday's game in Detroit. If he's able to return, there's a chance he could split reps with Zach Charbonnet, though Walker has averaged 16.9 touches per game in 2 weeks plus this season as a pro. So, week 1, he was already at 20 rushing attempts at week 1. He had a touchdown. Here's a guy that's a touchdown or 2 upside in games when healthy. Charbonnet has stepped up and been okay in his absence. We'll see what's going to happen, right? That's an injury news that you need to keep an eye out on. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So him and David Montgomery, if he was healthy, I would be taking him, and that would be my parlay. Him and Montgomery for a touchdown in this game, right? Charbonnet been scoring though. I think Charbonnet's got a touchdown in every game since he's left. Yeah, he's got 2 touchdowns versus Miami and 1 versus New England. Seahawks are no stranger to trying to punch it in with their running backs when they get up there. 3 targets, 3 targets in every game this year. That's an okay sign. What is his receptions here? Receptions. That could be an interesting play. It's not up there. They don't want to put it up there because they don't know if what's the name is going to play. They probably don't even have his rushing prop up there. Right. They don't know if they're not going to put it up there if they don't know if Walker is going to play. So that's why they don't have rushing props out. So it's a mental note. That's a mental note you got to make. So when you know if one is ruled in, one is ruled out. As soon as they drop the line, you know exactly what you want to do. And that concludes this week. Maybe it might for tomorrow. tomorrow, I don't know. I might just take my weekend for myself. If I decide to go live Sunday, it will be for live bets, and I will probably sit here watching the red zone live, making live bets the whole 6 hours, man. The whole 6 hours with y'all or whoever wants to slide. So have your shit together, right? But at the end of the day, uh, I'll go through this one more time here. I'll start from the rear because it was a couple people that I didn't add. So I'll start from the rear, which is and if you missed the first segment, you can go back and watch the first. But I mean, it's the usual suspects for here for me, man. The Seattle game here still need to do a little bit more meditating on it, but I can see instances where you can mix up Metcalf and Amon Ra, or you could look at the number twos as well, right? Both number twos are in play. The passing game is in play in this game here. David Montgomery and I expect both of the running backs to try to get a touchdown. I ain't even gonna lie. Um, Tennessee and Miami Dolphins, like I don't fucking know, man. Straight up. Um, Buffalo, I lean towards the over. Both teams score a touchdown right here at plus 122. If you want to if you feel froggy, go ahead. A touchdown, a parlay, Montgomery and Derrick Henry. Um, I think both quarterbacks can score a touchdown here, and I also like the rushing yards for the Lamar. And I couldn't talk you off the. I mean, shit. Both tight ends for each game. I couldn't talk you off those guys. Here, usual suspects, man. Three guys I'm looking at: Brock Bowers, Mari Cooper, and Devontae Adams. Keep an eye on Devontae Adams. He hit the injury report. Kansas City and Chargers. I don't fucking know, man. Take Kelsey for a touchdown. If you score one, especially early, take him for another. I mean, Kansas City are nothing in this spot, right? Rashid Rice been really good. I love this game environment here. Um, we're gonna take number two receivers, receiving yards and targets. We're going to take the number one receiving yard and targets for Arizona. That's Marvin Harrison. I think that's Wilson. Um, we already know there's no Trey McBride, so start getting it in now. It's not even 24 hours. It's been 19 hours, and his Marvin Harrison prop went up six points. It opened up at 66. It's at 72 right now. Washington, 2.5 receptions, or the 29.5 yards for Zach Ertz. I couldn't talk you off of it. The quarterback, for Washington, his rushing yards are in play. Rushing yards for Mighty Mouse, whatever his name is, Kyler Murray is in play. And then don't be surprised if Terry McLaurin don't hit his yardage prop as well. I just don't. I mean, you can look at a touchdown for the running back here. I forget his name, but I'm not. I don't know, man. Just see who's going to be back. I know Kittle should be back. Just not a game I really want to elaborate on. Bucky Irvin, he can be a touchdown candidate here, along with Godwin, along with Mike Evans. But I want to see what's going on. Which one of these running backs are going to be playing here? I mean, one of these receivers. If both of the receivers are out for Philly, then I don't know exactly what to say. More usage for Saquon Barkley out of the backfield, things of that nature, whether it's in the rushing or whether it's in the passing game. You can probably take his rushing and receiving yards. You can look at Hurts rushing yards. I probably wouldn't even take his passing yards. I'll look at his rushing yards. And of course, in the passing game, if both of the receivers don't play, they'll probably be trying to key in on the number one tight end. What's his name? Damn, I forget his name. Dallas Goedert. So got to figure out the value between the receivers because if the top two receivers are out, then you got to figure out which one of these third and fourth stringers we're going to try to target. You know what I'm saying? Give me the Bears. I wish I got that 2.5, but give me the Bears at -3. Give me Caleb Williams. I took his yard. I think I got him in prize picks at 217. His passing yardage at 217. I mean, what you want me to do? What you want me to do? Shit. So I'm thinking about taking the 250 for plus money. 300 yards for Caleb, you'll get it at a plus 640, right? So not one of my favorite games here. I don't even want to talk about this game straight up. I talked about it earlier. You can go back and see what I said. Tank Dell probably won't play. I think the first and second string running back is out for Houston. Both him, Nico and what the fuck is that boy name? The number 1A, 1B, whatever receiver, both of those receivers, right? They got double-digit targets. So both of their receptions sitting at 5.5. I think you can take them both, right? And I think if one of them gonna hit, and then you can take both of their yardage if you want to. One of them gonna hit, okay? Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers. I wanted to look at the rushing plus receiving yards for Minnesota Vikings running back. I'm so bad with names, man. But y'all know who he is, man. He's hit this number in 2 of his last 3 games just on rushing yards alone. This Green Bay does have a pretty good defense. You can look at his individual receptions line, receiving yards, or like I said, you can look at his rushing and receiving. He's crushed that line with just rushing yards alone in 2 of his last 3 games. And it's a revenge game. Jones. This is Aaron Jones. I think it's Aaron Jones. Green Bay is hard for me to put a read on where to go. Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson. Do what you want to do. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons here. Mooney is an interesting play at 3.5 receptions. You can look at his receptions if you want. I think that's an interesting play there. This game, I was just looking at Mooney. As one of those other guys. Of course, Drake London and all those guys, they're going to be in play, but he was just somebody I was looking at. The New York Jets here. It's hard for me to, Mike Williams, 29 yards or maybe 30.5. I think it's a possibility where you can play that. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get acclimated. He's playing a little bit more each and every week, or his target share is going up a little bit more each and every week. I did look at his touchdown. It's a plus 280, right? So he's a dark horse for a touchdown play, right? So Mike Williams, he's somebody that can take the cover off the defense, a big target. Aaron Rodgers is dying. Who really wants to get a report because they're going to have to figure out ways to, make this offense dynamic, right? Then you got Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, where Braylon Allen, if I'm taking a touchdown, it's going to have to be Braylon Allen. It ain't going to have to be Braylon Allen, but let me take that back. Zip it. Let me take that back, right? Let me take that back. But just know that Braylon Allen work is getting more work. And this organization, they're trying to move. They're trying to get in the playoffs, and they're trying to advance, man. So right now they just, they're not about statistics right now. The same thing goes with Garrett Wilson. You got guys like Lazard, Williams, Garrett Wilson, and you also have guys like Tyler Conklin, as to where they're trying to make this offense more dynamic. They got a quarterback that will be able to exploit matchups, right? In order to do that, he has to get familiar with everybody. Make sure everybody's on the same page with him. I'm talking about Rodgers. So You can see that in the making, right? He took advantage last week. Conklin had 93 yards. Like I said, these guys are going to move matchup based. Wouldn't be by surprise. Next 2 or 3 weeks, Rodgers could probably have this offense humming, right? He have to make these guys dangerous, and that's what you got to understand. From a full game, I mean from a game from football standpoint, that's what they are. And then Cincinnati Bengals, Carolina Panthers. I mean, the Bengals are who they are, right? I lean towards the Bengals 4.5. If they're gonna let Andy Dalton come here and beat them, because Andy Dalton sure does want to go in there and beat them. I'm telling you this shit right now. Andy Dalton wants to make these guys 0-4. Bengals lose this game, they ass is in trouble. They ass in trouble already. That's hot ass water. They lose this game. So, on the flip side here, we're looking at Adam Thielen got hurt. We're looking at we know everybody's going to be on. Deontay Johnson, and rightfully so. But we got to take a look at Xavier Legette and even Mingo. I got to find out who's going to be that number 2 guy, right? Even Mingo is going to be in play with somebody that can spread the ball around like a veteran like whatever the kid's name is. The Red Rifle, that's what they call him. So, but the one who kind of stands out to me is going to be Xavier Legette. I would probably look at him. I would probably look at him for receptions at 3.5 and 2.5. I mean, as a parlay piece, I think that's an okay parlay piece there, right? At 2.5, right? I think that's an okay parlay piece. Even T. Higgins at 3.5, right? That's another play. Which one would I take? Probably T. Higgins, though. Probably T. Higgins. So I forgot to even, put T. Higgins up there. So it's a good parlay piece if you ask me. 3.5 receptions. I think that Cincinnati Bengals are going to beat these boys, though, right? Coming off a big win last week, Carolina Panthers. I could instantly see, maybe them coming back down to earth. Don't get it twisted. Deontay Johnson is in play. Big time target monster here. I would probably look at his receptions. And you'll get his receptions at 5.5 at plus money. I would probably look at his receptions. You guys got any plays? Drop them, whatever the case may be. Good luck, man. Good luck, man. I'm getting ready to go to work. Good luck today on whatever you guys got going on. Peace out.